Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Very busy 3-hour program lined up today. Tons of reaction after another doozy in prime time. Monday night, Falcons take down the Rams in a big upset. What happened with the live odds to win the MVP and where it's sitting at today? Was it a big overreaction? Paul Stone on the program, a couple of best bets from him. We do have 2 more games to kick off yet today in college football, which we will discuss. It was a big night last night of the NBA as well. Horrible news for Joker. Could have been worse than the Denver Nuggets, but we'll get into that. 2 segments today, Derek Stevens. So much to get into. We'll talk about Circa Survivor. That is down to 6 entries now, $18 million on the line. I want to know how much money it takes on game day to move a game basically from pick to 3 with juice, like we saw with the Bills against the Eagles on Sunday. And they offer every game to end in a tie. Great question from you, Pauly. How much will they take on that? Because if these games, if one of them would end it on a tie, in a tie on Sunday, you're dead with your Survivor ticket. So we'll ask him about that. And coming up in an hour, I can't wait, Bruce Murray, host on Sirius XM NFL Radio, also an NFL awards voter on the program. We'll get into that coming up, the MVP stuff. How concerned are you right now with the Rams after last night?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll say a 5.
Okay, that's not bad.
Because you had guys out. Humphrey was terrible.
Right.
That's a bomb to Puka that was negated. Line up correctly, right? Had the special teams break go their way. Stafford played like Stafford in Detroit, trying to fit it in tight spaces, relying on arm strength, and he got caught a couple times. But you're going to get Adams back. You're going to get healthy on the offensive line. Now, the tough thing is you blew it with the 1 seed, and you're going to have to do it on the road. But I still think they're going to get the 5 seed, and then they'll take out whoever wins the toilet bowl Saturday afternoon, assuming, right? That
would be the angle, right?
And then I think you got a great opportunity again when you take on Seattle. I think Seattle beat San Francisco, and then they can beat Seattle again, and how they outplayed them in the second meeting. But it was just a tough loss, but it shows my takeaway is how the hell are the Falcons 7-9?
Exactly right.
They're 4-1 in prime time. They got great weapons. And to think that this team got blown out at home by Miami, blown out at Carolina, swept by Carolina, it would have a 3-way tie for the division, and they'll be on the outside looking in.
How about that? If you're holding a Tampa Bay ticket to either make the playoffs or to win that division, even with a win now against Carolina on Sunday, that doesn't mean that they're going to take it down because they need a Falcons loss.
Yes.
If the Falcons win on Sunday, the Buccaneers are out.
Yes. What a weird celebration in 12 hours it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right? So it's happened. We've had a 3-way tie 5 times. And the last time it happened, 2011, in the AFC West. I didn't know this till Kornacki mentioned it Sunday night on NBC. But the league and most people assumed, well, Drake May just went from $4 to $3.20 at DraftKings. Most people just assumed that the Rams would handle their business last night. You wouldn't have to worry about it.
I was scared about the game.
Yeah, right.
And you know something that we never even talked about yesterday? Raheem Morris does know the team. Obviously, he was there. He won a Super Bowl with them. Defensive coordinator knows them, and it looked like it last night. But the Rams obviously not playing well. They've lost 3 out of their last 5 games, so I'm a little bit concerned, probably a little bit more than you, probably 5.5 or a 6 overall. Tough time here stopping the run lately.
Yeah.
And last night, perfect example of that happening. But if it breaks like that and the Niners lose to Seattle, and then I do expect the Rams to absolutely go out there and thump the Cardinals. McVay said the starters are going to go. Well, specifically, if the Seahawks win the game, they have to go, and they'll probably kill the Cardinals in that spot to get the 5 seed.
I don't mind them with Garoppolo either.
Okay.
Arizona can't stop anything. I think 7.5 is a good look.
And once they get Devontae Adams back, that'll be big. Corum left the game early last night. Eventually, he'll come back. Other key guys as well. So last night was not pretty. But to your point, like, you know that Bijan Robinson is like one decent run away or catch away from topping how many yards Saquon Barkley had from scrimmage last year?
Had a great year. Getting lost.
He was 225-1 to win Offensive Player of the Year last night during the game. He's down to 30-1, 25-1.
There's a lot of stuff happening that's not getting enough attention or talked about. Robinson's season and the fact that the New England Patriots have beat one team with a winning record. No one's talking about this with the awards. I don't know why. Now, one voter and one guy who covers the league is on it, pointing out it's the easiest schedule for a team that made the playoffs since 1999 in the Rams. Discussed numerous times, as they mentioned it on the broadcast on the Sunday night game when they played the Ravens. It's the 30th easiest schedule in the last 15 years. Mm-hmm. But this is big for Vrabel and big for May that everything moved, and the fact that, okay, it's a great story, but we're not even playing the same sport here. And what could be the best division of our lifetime, the NFC West, and who Stafford has to go through, the Patriots have beat one team with a winning record. It's astonishing. And they lost to the Raiders. So everyone playing that game last night, it's the Falcons. You look terrible. They did lose to the Raiders, who are going to go 2-15 if you want to play that game.
I think it was one of the biggest overreactions we've had in sports in a long time last night, what took place. And again, full disclosure, I am holding Drake May 95-1 to win the MVP. And what took place last night was incomprehensible to me. And now you have voters like Dan Orlovsky coming out, and he tweeted this earlier, and he said TD passes against 11-plus win teams in 2025. Think about this for a second. Against teams with 11-plus wins, Matthew Stafford has 20, most in NFL history.
Oh.
Baker Mayfield has 13. 51 players have at least one, 52-plus with 0. May is in that group.
This reminds me of Miami and Notre Dame with the odds and how it was like it's going to correct itself. They're going to do the right thing. Head-to-head's going to matter. The voters aren't going to fall for this. The voters know that one guy is playing this elite competition and putting up huge numbers, and the other guy, who's had a great season, has faced one of the easiest schedules we've seen in 20 years.
Yeah.
And the easiest since 1999 with the playoff team.
So I was tracking this the entire game on FanDuel and at DraftKings and a couple of other spots as well. Kelce being one of them. And the highest number that I noticed May get to at FanDuel was minus 650 to win the award. For one game, Week 17, when Tom Pelissero, NFL Network, just put out a poll.
Right, big.
When he surveyed a bunch of executives, including, I think, 21 GMs overall, and it was overwhelming in favor of Matthew Stafford getting the MVP over Drake May. And one game where he had 3 INTs, and oh, by the way, he now has 8 on the year. 8 on the year. Guess how many INTs Drake May has? He's got 8. So he tied Drake May with interceptions on the year last night. This is not a 1-week award, folks. It's full season to date. And if you want to go down, look, I'm very intrigued. I think both guys have a pretty decent case. Stafford's got a great case. May, when you go down and look at and I don't know, like voters, if they really go down that rabbit hole of looking at the advanced numbers like EPA per game, EPA per dropback, EPA per pass play. May's got him there. Yards per attempt, he's got better numbers than Stafford. He's got more rushing yards, obviously, more rushing touchdowns. He's got a higher completion percentage. But Stafford has more passing yards. He's crushing him in touchdowns overall. And again, when you look at the schedule of competition that these two have played, it's Stafford, the 3rd hardest schedule of opposing pass defenders. Drake May, easiest schedule of opposing pass defenses. And you said that about May playing the easiest schedule since 1999 versus the quarterback with the toughest schedule for a playoff team since 2004, Matthew Stafford.
Strong. Yep. He's also, as a voter, people are saying, well, you can only play who's on your schedule and you can't use it against him. He goes, you can, and I will.
Is that right?
That's what he said. Yes. You can't give Drake May credit for struggling last year and then being good this year. You can't say, well, he stunk last year and now he's good this year. Now, that's a compliment and credit to Vrabel, but also why I think Vrabel will not win Coach of the Year, and even with a loss, I still think it goes to Shanahan, is because the Patriots were favored in 11 games before the season even started. So this isn't unexpected.
Yeah, their win total was 8.5. Their alt-win total high was 9.5. Now, they flew over that. Good for them. They cleared it no problem. Also, this is a good tweet from Dustin Sweetelson, cashing out weeknights here on VSiN. May versus teams above 500. Pittsburgh, Buffalo twice. 4 total touchdowns, 2 INTs. Stafford against teams above 500, including Houston, Philadelphia, San Francisco twice, Jacksonville, Seattle twice. 20 touchdowns, 1 INT.
Oh.
Not close.
Wow.
Not close.
All right. How much will the 5 or 6 seed ding them? That's the thing. And we'd love to play prisoner of the moment, but I think New England takes out Miami Sunday, but if he struggles and you figure Stafford lights it up against Arizona, then what?
Yeah, I just.
But it just this has happened for the last couple of weeks here, where you're seeing big swings in these awards markets, and I guess that's it for Puka, Offensive Player of the Year as well, because now JSN shot up after Puka did nothing last night.
Yeah, that could come down to the game on Saturday and what McCaffrey's going to do.
That's
and again,
right.
what if Robinson goes crazy again on Sunday? Like, is he going to have enough steam here?
He's 100-1. I don't know.
That's down to 25-1 now.
Yeah.
It keeps coming down.
Yeah.
But Puka was so close to having a huge game, too.
I thought he caught it with the left hand.
Oh, incredible.
One of the best catches I've ever seen.
No doubt. And
I thought he got it.
And the touchdown that was called back.
Yep. I mean, how strange is this, though, too? Where you have, in the NFL, thought, okay, it's a win-or-go-home game. But then Tampa wins, and they got to sit around and watch the Falcons game. That is typical NFC South.
Yes, it is.
If then the Saints go out and win, right? And Tampa and Carolina still gets in there, or Tampa still gets in there, rather. How it would happen. That's crazy. Football meets flavor with VSiN and Omaha Steaks, the official sponsor of tailgating. And right now, spend $129. You get 2 pounds of fully cooked chicken wings, plus 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com/VSiN. Don't wait. Spend $129 and get 2 pounds of wings and save 50% off site-wide on steaks and more. omahasteaks.com/VSiN. You'll love the menu and everything they have to offer. omahasteaks.com/VSiN, right to your door.
All right, wild night with the NFL MVP odds last night and the NBA MVP odds. Say it ain't so.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
By the way, shout out to Shelby, who runs the Fans of VSiN account on Facebook, Spooky Express, Hot Rod as well, others who played in the fantasy league that Shelby put together. He's the commissioner of the Fans of VSiN League. I took it down last night, and here was the sweat, and I tweeted this out. I needed about 5 points from Matthew Stafford to win. He had negative points with those two interceptions at halftime, and I was deathly afraid, looking at that deficit, that McVay might pull the plug and say, screw it, I'm pulling my starters for this game. We're going to wave the white flag, and I'm going to go to Jimmy Garoppolo. And I eventually got enough points to win but here's the thing. So, if you would like to be Mr. Joshua from Lethal Weapon and you want a shot at the title, go check out the account on Facebook, again, called Fans of VSiN, because Shelby said if you want to get involved next year in the fantasy contest, hit him up and he might include you next season. It's a great league. It's the 3-week scoring aggregate instead of the head-to-head nonsense at the end.
Okay.
So, but I couldn't believe that. What I was against, I had 5 points. I'm like, what is going on here in this game?
They didn't show up till the third quarter. It's a bad performance. And like McVay said, we got humbled. And they weren't ready to play.
Yep.
And they just good luck figuring out the Atlanta Falcons. What a bizarre season.
What was your gut reaction last night when you saw the video from Nikola Jokic and the injury?
I thought out for the year. Didn't look good.
No, it did not.
And how it changed everything with the MVP market, but at least they got good news, and the league got good news that he's only out a month. They got blasted in Miami, but it just the season he's having, and the big takeaway as an NBA fan is we're looking at all-time greatness, and what could have been an historical season. That's been wiped away because he could have led the league this year in rebounds and assists. And Tommy Beer had an unbelievable tweet trying to put, and someone needs to show this to Shaq, and judging a book by its cover, and even Kendrick Perkins, too, about how this guy should have won so many MVP awards. Shaq's career-high scoring average, 29.7. Career-high scoring average, 29.7. Joker averaging 30 a game. Karl Malone career-high rebounding average, 12. Joker's 12.4. Kid's career-high assist average, 10.8. 98-99. Joker's got him beat. Kareem's career-high field goal percentage, 60.4 in 79-80. Joker's got him beat. Larry Bird, career high 3-point percentage, 42.7. Joker, 44%. This is the most ridiculous thing I've seen in 40 years watching sports.
That tweet.
That is.
Yeah, the
Think
season that
about
he's having.
The all-time greats, and he's beating all those guys in the categories.
They also have the most efficient, when you go look at points per possession, the Denver Nuggets this year, the best and most efficient offense in the history of the game. And how many years do we say that when he's involved? Right. And then when you take him off the court.
The on-off numbers, right.
Yeah, we saw last night, they're up by, one at halftime?
Yeah.
Then, the injury, and they lost by 100. Oh, okay. Any coincidence there? Absolutely not. But I like what JVT was saying today on Money Moves, and when he and I recorded the latest edition of Pod of the Future out a little bit later on today, he said that he wants the Nuggets to lose a bunch of games coming up, and they will over the next month. And then they're going to eventually get all these guys back because they've just been crippled by injuries. Mm-hmm. And then he wants to bet a ballooned up number on this team to win the West or to win the NBA title, because that's what's going to happen.
Well, I don't know how I wouldn't do that though if I'm a sports book, knowing that he's getting back. And what they're going to be affected because they get a 6 seed or something?
Well, it'll be, sure. I mean, if they lose a bunch of games, maybe there's, under that scenario, let's say that the books kind of like during the middle of a long losing streak, for example, it's like, not looking good. And you're going to get a better number then than you ever would have if the guy obviously stayed healthy. Averaging 30, 12, and 11 on the year. Yeah, as you said, first in rebounds, first in assists, first in triple doubles, first in double doubles, second overall in points. And, was on pace to be the first player in the history of the league to lead in both rebounds and assists overall.
Yep.
So he's now done for at least a month. Could have been the entire year.
SGA, $5.
What do you make of that?
Yeah, gosh. Well, we saw it with Wemby. You can't lay these prices, though, because of the games you have to play threshold. And one injury changes everything and blows it up. But I certainly can't get there with Luka, who's having an incredible season, but you worry about how many games the Lakers are going to win. And maybe, now they're not playing well of late, and they're playing tonight. They play each other. But if Detroit can get the 1 seed, if Cunningham could do it, and you were making a case for Wembanyama, and then now they've lost 2 in a row.
Well, it's fitting that you brought that up about Cade Cunningham, and today is the pizzeria day. We'll have a slice coming up at 5:45 Eastern, 2:45 Pacific. I remember about 5 weeks ago, somebody wanted our thoughts on Cade Cunningham at a huge number to win the MVP, and I totally shot it down. The reason why is because I said that you have too much elite talent in the sport, such as SGA, Joker, Giannis, Luka, to overcome. And I said you're going to need multiple injuries. Well, here we are. The person who bet Cade Cunningham weeks ago on a huge ticket to win the MVP, you're getting what it's going to take. Massive injury to Giannis, who was playing, his per number is one of the best of all time. Joker's is the best of all time. They're both out. Lucas had problems. And now you're clearing the path for Cade to actually come up and maybe on the 1 seed, people can make a case for it at this point.
They're $1.15 now to get the 1 seed. Incredible. Also, you can take the Cavs like 8-1 to win the division if you want to lock in a profit when we gave out the Pistons plus 450.
Right. Let me throw 2 other guys at you. One, and his numbers come down a little bit, but I'd say Jalen Brunson, if you can find 75-1. And what happens, by the way, again, 2 major injuries already to guys we just talked about. What if something were to happen to SGA? I hate to even bring it up, but it happens all the time in this sport, happens in the NFL.
Okay.
Brunson with the Knicks getting the 1 seed. And they love giving awards to players in New York. And the other one, this guy is on an unbelievable stretch right now. They're only 3.5 games back. I think it would take somewhat of a minor miracle, but Jaylen Brown is going scorched earth right now. And if somehow, I don't think they're going to win the division, but if somehow, some way the Celtics were to win the division, which would result then in a very high seed in the Eastern Conference with no Jason Tatum and, kind of a cast of misfits here playing for the Celtics, East Coast bias could come into play. And I saw Jaylen Brown earlier today at 250-1. Like a number at that, pizza money, that multiplies pretty quickly.
So do you want to take futures on the Celtics? Because they're not saying much about what if they get like a top 5 seed and the East is wide open because Cleveland's been a mess and you only have to beat out the Knicks and the Pistons. Would you bring the guy back?
Oh, man, it's such a tough question.
They're sitting there at 25-1, and then the books are aware of it too. Number one, how well they're playing. But if you want them to win the East or you want them to win the whole thing, and, it's a big difference in prices because of the OKC monster. But if you can get 8-1 to win the East, I wouldn't. Who's to say they wouldn't do this?
Yeah, maybe.
Say, well, here he is. He's coming back for the playoffs, and we think we can steal a championship when we're supposed to write off the season.
Yeah,
here.
no kidding. Well, so what does it mean for tonight anyway? And this tells you that Jaylen Brown, again, he's been the ringleader here, the catalyst for this offense. They're fourth in offensive rating this year. And before the last game that they played against Portland, they had the third. Think about this for a second here. This year's Boston Celtics team, when it comes to points per possession, third most efficient offense in the history of the sport. Right behind the team that won it in Boston in 2024 and this year's Nuggets team. That's how good the offense has been. And for tonight, the Jazz are 22-9 over in the first quarter this year, 14-4 at home. They're also 21-10 over in the first half, 15-3 over in the first half at home. So I have a bet on first half over 124, specifically after Boston had kind of a clunker the other night. And I have a bet on full game over 241.5, thanks to our buddy Kevin Rogers, who keeps track of all these numbers here in the NBA. Go back and look at the Utah Jazz game log at home recently, and every game is just 138 to 131, halftime score 72 to 65.
All right, try to call the blowout as well. Don't look now. Here come the Clippers. Clippers are playing great ball. Kawhi just had 55 in the win against the Pistons. They're 9.5 against Sac. You maybe look at Clippers team total or the game over. I think they get whatever they want against Sacramento tonight and keep rolling. And maybe they finally found something here, as the Clippers have had some impressive wins going back there.
Okay, I don't think 9.5 is enough. Last 4 games, 4-0 straight up and ATS. Think about this. The Clippers defeated the Lakers by 15. They beat Houston by 20. They killed Portland by 16. And they pounded the Pistons by 13. Second best offensive rating in 4. It's a very small sample size, I get that. Third best defensive rating. And that's what we've seen from this team in recent years as well. Their net rating in the 4-game winning streak is 17.5. OKC's net rating this year is 13.8. So they're blasting all these teams by double digits. Kawhi's coming off a 55-point game. You can't expect him to duplicate that tonight. But laying below 10 against a terrible Kings team?
Yep.
I'm intrigued.
Yep. And they've been doing a better job defensively, which is also a big issue early on in the season. So hopefully they got all this stuff behind them now and all these distractions.
Well, the league better hope so, because they don't want the Thunder having like a top 5, top 6 pick.
Yes, right. Multiple lottery picks. I know.
Now, by the way, with those bets on the Utah-Boston game tonight, I did see that Keontae George is suddenly questionable for the game that came down about an hour ago. And, by the way, JVT today on the podcast gave an incredible angle on an NBA award that I will tease that you need to go and listen to Pod of the Future to get exactly what he was talking about. Broke it down for like 3 or 4 minutes and put me on the guy at about 14-1. Up next, grading NFL win totals, what has to happen in Week 18, and why you need to bet alt numbers every single year. I'll give you the alarming numbers next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So we talk about this a lot in the summertime leading into the NFL season, and try to remind people that betting alternate win totals in the NFL is the only approach really to take. And we have a lot of years now of data telling you the same exact thing. For example, and we'll get this question, so I'll answer it right now. What is an alternate win total? Well, let's say I'll use the Vikings, because I was high in the Vikings over 8.5. That was their standard win total, 8.5. Books will offer alternate win totals, so under 7.5 plus money, over 9.5 plus money as well, with the regular win total being, let's say, minus 110 both ways at 8.5. In 2024, Pauly, 25 out of 32 teams finished over or under their alternate closing win total. So plus or minus 1.5 wins of their closing win total. 13 by 3.5 wins or more. 25 out of 32 teams. In 2023, it happened to 21 teams. In 2022, 24 teams either under or over with the alternate win total. In 2021, it was 23 teams. And in 2020, the pandemic year, it happened 25 times again. 78% of the teams either went over or under their alternate win total. We already have 21 teams with 1 week to play that will have cashed out there under or they're over with the outs. 5 pending. And by the way, you're going to get massives, that's a strong word, but some really good plus money with a lot of these examples. The Cardinals under 7.5 was their alternate under win total, plus 195, never a sweat. The Ravens under 10.5, plus 175. That's already officially a winner. The Bengals under 8.5, plus 260. Got there. Injuries happen, man. So if you bet that and Joe Burrow goes out in week 2, you're feeling pretty good.
Bad defense happens, too.
The Browns are pending. Under 4.5 was plus 150. If they beat Cincinnati week 18, they'll have 5 wins. You bet the Lions under 10.5?
Loved it. I loved Detroit under and the Saints under. Saints somehow got me. The Lions, horrible end of the season.
Well, not only did they go under 10.5, but they stayed under their alternate low total of 9.5 plus 135.
Yeah. And I wonder what they were to finish in last place. That's another one. Oh, man.
And by the way, all of these numbers that I'm running down, these did change throughout the summertime. I found the opening numbers for Circa. So certainly some of these changed, but these are the openers that they had. The Chiefs under 10.5 was plus 140. Rocking chair. The Raiders under 6.5 plus 135. Hello. How do you do? Yep. The Dolphins, that's pending. They have 7 wins. But if they lose...
5 and 2 last 7.
Yeah. But
showing up, fighting.
Under 7.5 was plus 125.
Yeah.
The Giants facing a murderer's row of a schedule. Under 4.5 was plus 140. Cha-ching. Look at this. I can't believe I didn't strongly advocate for this. The Jets under 4.5 was plus 260.
Yeah. Some people got there late, and they were right about all this talk about the Giants and their schedule, but the Jets could be a horror show.
Yep.
And that was accurate. And again, they beat Atlanta. That's Atlanta's last loss. That's what's going to keep these guys out of the playoffs.
Think about that for a second.
They gave up 2 special teams touchdowns in that game.
And Atlanta might be, who knows, man? This whole thing is wide open. This might sound Atlanta might be dangerous in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's the same thing. It's like when you're watching the Ravens. It's like, how does Robinson not get 30 touches a game?
Yeah, right.
I mean, silly.
The Buccaneers stayed under 8.5. That was plus 150. Think about what had to happen for that thing to go under.
And I love the markets catching on about, and you had to see what happened last night, but Carolina now minus $4 to win the division because of what Tampa Bay needs to happen now.
Yeah. Boy, that would have been... the Titans under 4.5, that was available at higher than 2-1, plus 215 on the opener.
A lot of listeners grabbed that. Yeah, Good call.
If you were expecting regression out of Washington, under 8.5 was plus 180.
Some people had that. Yep. They were thinking regression with Daniels, but then again, injuries got him, and the defense was horrible.
This is astonishing, man. How many times, again, forget about betting a regular win total over or under. These are all alt numbers we're talking about now. And to the teams that have already cashed to the over with their alternate win totals or some of the pending, the Panthers over 7.5 plus 150. All they had to do was beat Green Bay as a 13-point dog and the Rams as a 10-point dog to get there. The Bears over 9.5 was plus 230. I did not see this coming.
Division was too difficult, I thought.
Yeah. Well, last year you had a 15, 14, and an 11-win team.
Yeah.
And we all expected Green Bay and at least Detroit to be really good again this year. The Broncos over 10.5 was plus 230. They're probably going to win 14 games. And by the way, some books will let you ladder them even higher than this. You can go to 11.5 on the Broncos, go to 12.5 at massive paydays.
How about the Texans go 12-5 and can't win the division? Screws up my exacta as well. Jacksonville's going to beat Tennessee and win the division 13-4. So incredible turnaround, but again, a great close of the season. But Houston blew 3 games at the start of the year. They blew the Tampa game and they blew the Jacksonville game. Yep.
And Texans over 10.5 was 2-1. The Colts pending. We're expecting a loss here, but if in case they do shock the world and win the game, they would go over their total of 8.5, which is plus 175. Jacksonville already in. Over 8.5 was plus 205. Again, what do you think over 10.5, 11.5 was on the Jags? The Chargers 10.5 got there plus 185. The Rams over 10.5 plus 155. The Patriots 9.5 was plus 195. Saints pending to go over 6.5 plus 245.
Do you remember what Ed Salmons at the Westgate said in the summer when he was on with us.
Yeah, he
Can
said.
You relay that story?
He said because he bet under 6.5 before the entire market moved to 5.5.
Right. They opened 6.5. That's right.
Yep. And he said it's impossible for this team to win 7 games. And it looked absolutely spot on until a month ago.
And then the Messiah comes in. Can Shuck do it again? My God.
Well, how many people are going to make the case for the Steelers to go under their win total next year, only to be bitten
Steelers
once
and
again?
Bears. Steelers and Bears. The Bears with the luck factor.
Yeah, and the Steelers to go over 9.5 wins was plus 210. And with a win as a mild dog against Baltimore coming up, they'll get there. Seattle over 8.5 was plus 135. And the 49ers over 11.5 was plus 220.
So you think he still has to win Saturday
Shanahan.
to get the award?
I do not.
I think he's done enough.
So do I.
With all the injuries and who they've beat down.
I would say this.
Yeah. And this also, I love Vrabel, but it hurts them. With this, they were favored in 11 games and they beat one team with a winning record.
I just don't know how you deny all the injuries to the 49ers, to the key players, the star guys there. And so I think there's going to be, and there has been like a big narrative, like, and I brought this up too, like if the 49ers get the 1 seed, he has to win. Well, that's a made up requirement. Again, that's an unwritten rule, so to speak. Why isn't getting to the final Sunday of the season to play for the 1 seed good enough for this guy? It should be when you factor in how many games Brock Purdy missed, George Kittle, both out for the entire year, Warner the entire time for the most part. Brandon Ayuk never took a snap. And the list goes on and on and on and on.
A weird story, yeah. I wouldn't show up.
Sure, and to potentially in your own division beat out the Rams and the Seahawks, just the fact that they have a chance to do it, to me, would be good enough. Guy's done an impeccable coaching job this year, and you have seen, for those of you on social media, or if you listen to VSiN, I know Von Tobel's brought this up, there are voters out there who are making this like abundantly clear, or people in NFL circles, NFL national media, they're like, what are we doing here? Frank Schwab said earlier today he should win the award unanimously.
Good. Good for him. And I can't get over the Minnesota story. Their win total was 8.5. They were 4-8. 6-point dogs in Dallas. 7.5-point dogs at home against Detroit with a third-string quarterback. They've won 4 in a row, and they are now favored, playing almost a touchdown against a Green Bay team that's probably going to sit everyone. Oh, what an unbelievable beat if you had the Vikings under.
Yeah. And I had him over 8.5.
Can't believe how they're going to close the season. But full
stunned.
marks to Flores and his defense, how well they played down the stretch.
Oh, they never tapped out once.
Yep.
They brought the lunch pails, man, and they were ready to rock and roll the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at, and we have an NFL awards voter coming on the show, Bruce Murray, in about 20 minutes. So right now they have the Coach of the Year odds up. Vrabel, Shanahan, McDonald, Cohen, Ben Johnson, DeMeco Ryans. Some people want to bring up Sean Payton. At least 3 to 4 of those names I just mentioned will not even be a finalist. So who will the finalist even be? Vrabel, Shanahan, and who?
Ben Johnson's got to be on there too.
As a finalist?
Yes.
That's what I would think.
McDonald might. I don't think McDonald will.
No, they won 10 games last year.
Because they won 10 games last year, yeah. So you can come back and say, well, Darnold did it last year. So I think that it's a tough call, but I think you have to respect what Ben Johnson did, making them look like a professional outfit in the turnaround in Jacksonville, too.
Yeah, well, the turnaround. Jacksonville won 4 games.
There's been turnarounds during the season. Jacksonville was awful a couple months. They lost 35-7 in London against the Rams.
Yeah.
They almost lost to they couldn't stop the Raiders out here.
That's how good this market is. A guy like Liam Cohen could do this in year 1, and he might not even be a finalist for the award.
A crazy year, man.
Yeah. Up next, Pauly's going to detail something crazy that took place last night during the Monday Night Football game, and it was not the changing odds in the NFL MVP market. Win some, lose some next on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays. Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Here's what Mitch was talking about. It wasn't even offered. Xavier Smith, most receiving yards in the game last night. Who had that? I didn't even see it offered, and he only had 67 yards with all the talent on the field.
No kidding.
And Sills led Atlanta. He had like 33 yards. Led the team. Crazy game. Falcons money line 3-1. Robinson first touchdown plus 450. Touchdown and the Falcons win plus 450. Cousins throws a touchdown and they win plus 350. Defensive or special teams touchdown plus 280. Ferguson anytime 4-1. Avalanche do it again. Goal in the first 10 minutes, 15-1 run at home. Sabres have won 9 in a row. Can they end the second longest drought behind the Jets of making the playoffs? 14 years in a row. Maybe Buffalo does it this year. Suns Wizards under 240 down to 233, and Knicks Pelicans over 240 up to 247, and flies over. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. The little guy here, the dog's trying to get the treat. Look at him. He's built like an ice cube, right? I think that's a bully. What a good-looking pup. And the treat went under the counter here, and he's just staring. He's like, I can't get the damn thing. He's put his face down there. He's trying to grab it with the paw, and he just sits. He's like, no. He won't give up, though. I give him credit. He won't give up, but he can't. Look at him reach. He's like, he can't get the treat.
He's telling himself, all I have to do is eat through this cupboard, and I can get to that treat, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, is he good-looking? Good-looking fella. What a good-looking dog. Good for him. Number 2. Yeah. Look at this. Look at the dog coming up and alerting the owner about, hey, this guy stole my bone. Come on, this isn't right. I'm freaking out. She walks up to the human, all freaking out, wagging the tail, pats her on the, grabs her, brings her over, says, hey, look at this. He took my bone. That's not fair. Alert the authorities, right? Give me it back. He's so much bigger than I am. What am I going to do, right?
I know. I guarantee I know what happened here.
Yeah, there it is, right? There you go. Yeah, right. Yeah. Gave him the bone back after the big guy stole. The Husky used to do this, but Jordan would do it to the Husky all the time when he was a puppy. Yeah. And I'm like, this should work the other way. You're the little guy taking it from the big guy. Here, it's yeah.
Here's what happened. The big dog had his bone as well. Probably chomped it down in like 30 seconds.
That's right.
And then, when this brown dog probably couldn't handle the size of the bone, looked away for a second, he came swooping in and they took it, and then the other one freaks out.
Yeah, it's great. Freaking out. Hey, this isn't right. You stole my bone. Incredible. Bulls T-Wolves over 238 up to 244. No good there. One move that didn't get there. Throw the line move. Sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market. They help shape it. Powered by advanced AI, connected to proven insider sources, active across all sports. They deliver the edge serious bettors rely on with free reports, alerts, and market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X-feed. Was all over the soccer action tonight that happened earlier. Since 2011, documented results, public logs, transparent receipts, sharpplays.com, trusted by pros, monitored by the book. Stay ahead of the line. Visit sharpplays.com.
All right, so have you taken anything more on Baltimore around 10-1 to win the AFC? That's the number that's readily available as we speak.
Let's see who plays quarterback. Let's see if they will see the light and realize Henry needs 30 carries. And I'm concerned about the Tomlin voodoo as well.
Because if the Ravens win, 10-1 is going to be long gone.
Good chance they play Houston right off the bat, too. Yeah. What a 4-5 matchup that would be. Oh, what a great game.
I'm just asking because it's not, look, and these numbers are now completely suppressed going into Week 18. But 10-1 to win the AFC, if that team gets in, they can't do damage. And this thing is completely wide open in both conferences.
You're damn right. So Green Bay was favored in Denver. What if it's a healthy, so we think, Lamar Jackson in a couple of weeks at Denver? That's not a crazy point spread.
Oh, their power rating is, was through the moon, to the moon actually earlier this year for multiple weeks. So
they're not scared of the Patriots. That's another one if that's the matchup. They had them down 11. Patriots couldn't stop them. They just did a poor job defensively. And May was great in the fourth quarter. So you're right about how wide open this is and the fact that we could get 3 incredible matchups there coming up if it's Baltimore, Houston, Bills, Jacksonville, and Chargers, Patriots, or just flip it.
I look at the odds right now in the AFC, and the top 5 teams right now on the odds board are between plus 280, and that's Denver, and that's because they have a clear path now to get the 1 seed. But I don't, again, multiple teams, to me anyway, would have no problem going to Denver and potentially winning a game. But then it's between plus 280 and 6-1, the top 5 teams on the odds boards. I don't want the Chargers. I just don't think they can do it with the offensive line problems. And by the way, that's where it's going to be a matchup problem for this team in the playoffs. We saw it last week against the Texans. Probably going to be they got pounded by Jacksonville. That might happen again. The Ravens would be a problem. The Broncos, if they had to go there, that'd be one team where the Broncos, I think, would probably, we'll see it again this week, but, Chargers aren't playing anybody. And I don't want the Steelers at 35-1 because I don't think they can do damage.
No.
So, but the problem is, to your point, I would love to sit here and make a case for Baltimore at 10-1 right now, but are they going to win this week? I don't know. This could be a Tomlin special yet again in a good way.
I would be so pissed if the Ravens lose. I mean, after what we watched in Cleveland and how he doesn't want to be hit, and the weather's a factor because he's up there in age, and now you don't have Metcalf, who was awesome in the first meeting, and you don't have Washington, and you throwing to Scantling and Thielen? Come on. All I got to do is contain the run, worry about Freiermuth, and that should be it. Plus, not that they can stop. Watt's not playing. It's not that they can stop anything.
Right.
So, I mean, just give Henry the ball 30 times, and we'll talk to you next week.
I'd like to say this is an exercise that would be similar to, like, the Kentucky Derby. Okay, now which horse are you going to throw out? Draw a line through, like, 4 horses. You want nothing to do with them, right? I can't draw a line through too many of these teams. And the odds are very close. I can draw a line through the Chargers and the Steelers, and that's probably it. And I don't want the Broncos at plus 280. And the NFC is kind of the same thing. How many teams do you want to draw a line through in that conference?
Just the winner of the NFC South.
That team, and I would say probably Green Bay. Too many injuries in my opinion.
They can beat the Bears, though. I mean, they had the Bears down 16-6 with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I also think the Bears could. Let's say the Bears get the Rams in round 1. I think the Bears could win that game. I don't think the Rams want to go to Chicago. I don't think they want to. They're screwing this whole thing up.
They have, big time.
To go from the 1 seed and the chance to play on the road against Tampa or Carolina, and now maybe instead it's going to be Chicago or Philadelphia on the road in round 1. Oh.
I think it's still going to work out for them. I think Seattle wins Saturday, and they pound Arizona, and they get the 5, and they get their wish.
Do you want to draw a line to the 49ers because of the defense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What about the Eagles because of the offense?
No.
I can't either.
Because they're 9-0 when he's held under 200 yards passing. They still can win games scoring 17, 20 points. Yep. All he needs a big play by Barkley, force a turnover. Maybe I can hit a long shot to Brown, and you can look up, and the guy maybe has 160 yards passing. Barkley has 80 yards rushing, but that's good enough.
Good enough to go.
How good the defense is. I mean, they made Buffalo look ridiculous for 3.5 quarters.
Yep. Don't forget that stretch that they played this year where they allowed nothing to Green Bay, and they followed it up by limiting Detroit's offense to 7 points. I think those were back-to-back games that they threw out there.
There's something to be said about experience, too, and delivering in big games, which they've done. Like, if you rank the most likely the quarterback to implode, Darnold's near the top of the list. Bo Nix, I think, is on top of the list as well. Like, who do you believe and who do you have trust in? And that also goes back to, I think that, the Eagles have shown they win games like this on a regular basis.
Yeah. Have you bought into the Bears at all more than just being a lucky team this year?
Well, I think it comes down to matchups, though, too. But I can't get away from the plus 22 turnover differential. I mean, they start the game with the pick 6. It's like this, everything's working out for them with the turnover battle. Yeah. And I think that's going to finally come to an end in January.
Probably. I don't think you can bank on that every single game. I know that the running game, though, can be there.
Yeah.
We saw that because Ben Johnson took apart Vic Fangio when they played on Black Friday.
Coaching staff was great.
No doubt. And I do think that Caleb's gotten a lot better. And that's all. That's
right.
That's credit to him, but also Ben Johnson making it happen. Yeah.
He took a lot of abuse last year. All this other stuff.
I'll raise my hand. He looked terrible last year.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I know. But my comeback was the coaching staff is horrendous.
Right.
And not helping him out.
I love that story from Collinsworth on Sunday night, where Ben Johnson basically put him into a hurry up offense, and he would purposely run down a play call that was 25 or 26 words, and Caleb would be like, "What? I need it again?" He's no, sorry, pal, you're out there. I'm getting you ready for the season. You think you want when the bullets are flying, man? Yeah. once week one gets here, I can't sit here and tell you to play all over again. You got to get used to this. And I mean, the combination here has been really, really good.
Phillies in Houston are similar. Like, can you keep winning games like this? Stroud has got to get better. Man, he's been bad.
I know.
But the defense is so good, like you saw the Charger game. They can steal a game, and they have a money kicker.
Yep. All right, we'll talk to an NFL awards voter coming up as Bruce Murray is going to join the program, host on Sirius XM. Should Drake May be the MVP betting favorite? How is he looking at Rookie of the Year and Coach of the Year? We'll ask him next on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.